All right, I have co-commentators, but by another twist of it, this really is just like the pinnacle penultimate Ben 10 stream. By another twist of fate, neither of my both my co-commentators have things come up and are late right now. So we're plowing through this alone, and it's gonna be great. I think, and the streams already dropped. Like I don't like it. It just sets the right vibe. Like we're all just chilling, having fun. Um, let's talk about the live league. So live league, I would know a whole lot about it. I'm in the live league. I have even played a game. I have not scheduled any. I had not scheduled any of my games as of 2 days ago, and was about to have Eden riding all over me. But then I played one with Beans yesterday, and I lost. But it was terrible. You know what? Let's just go on a sidetrack. Let's look at this game. If you didn't watch this game, never mind. I won't spoil it. Okay, never mind. It's a good game. You should you should watch that. That'll be, I mean, that's my most recent game. Fine, I won't spoil it. It is very exciting, and also I'm mad. That's all I'll say. It is a glorious Faye game. You're out of the league. You're out of the loop on the live league. Will you introduce it a bit? Oh my goodness, you shouldn't have asked, allies. The live league is a league where you play exclusively live games. Here's some rules. Uh, this seems like maybe the worst thing to possibly show, because this is the boring nitty gritty that no one cares about. But the important part is you have 4 weeks to play 4 games, and you schedule those games wherever. You're in a division, and all those games will be 45-minute games. So divisions, there we go. That's what we want to look at. So these divisions were kind of just like based on players' self-reporting skills, like their skill level. And you're just gonna be you're in your division. You're gonna play 4 games. Other important bit is you only play one faction, so it's beginner friendly. You only need to own one faction, which you will just by creating a Summoner Wars account. You also have a backup faction in case of mirrors, so if you and your opponent have the same faction, you go to your backup instead, but that doesn't happen too often. And so it's just sort of like you just like, you want to pick a faction and play 4 live games over the course of 4 weeks. Like, yeah, who wouldn't? It's a lot of fun, because it's a lot of what here we go. All right, let's go into trauma dumping. A lot of what makes competitive play difficult for me is like the time commitment, is the asynchronous nature of like the tournaments and the Summoner Warzone.com league, which I love and is like such an important part of the community, but like genuinely competitive play like stresses me out and takes up so much of my time when it is asynchronous game. And I know lots of people love that, and I don't mean to bash that. Like, it's a me problem 100%. But having a league where you can just play live games, like a live game is just, it's an hour and a half maximum, where you'll be like stressed and like figuring it out in that hour and a half, and then you're done and you're golden, and if you lost, you like get over it. So super happy we have a live league. So you see in my league here, Ben playing against all of these losers. Shimmer C Faye, I think Storm Goblin is their worst matchup. So screw Eden for putting me in this league. Got to go against 2 Storm Goblins. I think Forged is close to their like second worst matchup. I played a game in person against Beans the other day in the Chicago meetup, which was tons of fun. Where I took Faye to all 4 games that I played that night. I won 3 of them. The 4th one, we got close to killing Beans' Forged as Faye, but it turns out being at low health on the enemy side of the board as Nymera is fucking really hard. It's really hard. You cannot. It's really hard to aggro the Forged. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a swift 0 and 5. But so today we will be having Prophet versus Vexer. So Storm Goblins versus Forged. What did Eden claim? Eden claimed in the Discord that both of these players have said that they think they are unfavored in this matchup. So who do we believe? I don't know. who do you believe? Oh, and then I remember that Eden told me that I should do a poll. So that's what we're gonna do. Show me. So who do you think is going to win this game? So Prophet is on the Storm Goblins or Vexer on the Forged. All right. So if you can't, the poll is live right now. You can bid any amount of very important channel points. If you can't see it, try to look in the chat. You can click. Yeah. I'm curious who you think you think will win, the favored one. I really, cause like, yeah, my gut would be Storm Goblins as well, but I think that's because I'm on. Who just put 3.5k on? What did you put it on? On Profit? That's 6.5k on Profit. That's like 10 Gwalarks. That's not how math works. It's a lot of Gwalarks. Bet big, win big. Well, if no one bets on the other, the way this does work as well is like by winning you split the other team's winnings. So if Profit wins, you guys are gonna split the 10 points on the Forge right now. But surely everyone else will jump in here. Do, do, do. And anything else? Yes, there's 12 divisions too. Oh, and I'm joined by somebody. Hello, how's it going?
Pretty good.
I'm glad you can make it.
Yeah. 1 second. I'm gonna go close the door. I don't know if you can hear a child playing piano in the background, but
yep, no worries. And it looks like Vexer and Prophet are ready to go. I'm gonna tell them just 1 minute. Hand is on the trigger right now. Oh, looks like Cherez is gonna be jumping in too. But the co-hosts are here. This is crazy. Everything is lining up. Someone bet for Vexer.
So what you talked about the matchup already, I'm guessing, or what you expect to see?
I barely, honestly. I've said I have no idea. I've said I'm afraid of Storm Goblins on principle. People have voted with channel points. The vote is still in progress, but currently Profit is ahead. People have voted 6,500 channel points on Profit Storm Goblins and only 200 on Vexer's Forged. Don't know what's up there. So the people are favoring Storm Goblins right now.
Faith in Vexer, but
yeah. What's your opinion?
Oh well, I mean the data that Joe put out, I think had it relatively even. I don't remember the exact number, but on my matchup chart I made, I put it at 5-0. So I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience in that matchup myself because I haven't been playing either of those factions very much. So, I started one today actually. I randomly got the Forged and queued into Storm Goblins, and my initial thought was, hey, Sentry Cogs should be really good because they'll stop the Volt Swappers. But the thing about Storm Goblins is they can pick where they want to be, so they can probably avoid your Sentry Cogs. So,
yeah.
I
like guess that's interesting. Oh, Cherez,
hey.
Hello.
How are you guys doing? Sorry for being late.
No, you are all good. We are just about to start. I just gave them the go ahead to start the game. So, and we were chatting about what we think the matchup is going to be. I sort of have no idea. I think Storm Goblins is favored. Jaxic tentatively agrees.
So, but I don't think it's heavily skewed as the channel points are telling us.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting I've talked to both Prophet and Vexer about this matchup, and it seems like they both think that their faction is the underdog. So Prophet thinks Storm Goblins is underdog, and Vexer thinks that Forge is the underdog. And I think the reason why is that for I think normally I would think Storm Goblins is the underdog, just based off you need to stay pretty clumped as the Forged in general. But the difference is that Sentry Cogs are just so strong in this matchup and kind of make a lot of tricks that Storm Goblins have impossible to pull off, like big circuits.
That's interesting. I had not thought about it at all. I'll interrupt you briefly to say the game has started, and I just sent both of you the link. So either click the link there or watch it on stream. You'll be slightly delayed. But sorry, please.
I just
continue.
clicked on it. I don't want to. I won't be swayed by the stream.
But yeah, Sentry Cogs shut down Volt Swappers. That's what you were saying.
Exactly. And I actually played in Live League against Vexer in this matchup, and it came down to me timing out, but it was
timing out in Summoner Wars could not be me. Has never happened to me.
It is actually, Vexer does a great job of stalling you out as the Storm Goblins and making it hard for you to get some really nice chains.
I've got the game going on my screen. Prophet got to go first. Managed to do some damage to Ember Cog and finish off the Mag Cog.
I will say for Live League or for 45-minute games, these are two of the worst factions you can pick. Both of these are very complex factions, which require a lot of clicks, especially Storm Goblins.
the emphasis on the clicks. That's
I feel like the movement turns would be a hassle, like trying to figure out what you can do with your Volt Swappers and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those Sentry Cogs are just built for 45-minute games because you have to click which of your units gets hit first, even though you don't care. And just the time of clicking this unit, then this unit, then this unit can lose you like 15 seconds.
It's a different game when you got to play on a clock. You can't min-max those turns. It's really I'd also be interested to hear, like, after the season of the live league, or maybe after a few seasons, like some tips on how to play live games. Like some people being like, so like where, like, do you just need to play fast? Like, should you try to like think more on the early turns versus the later turns, which is what I do, which is why I always time out. Like what is the meta strategy for approaching a live game?
I mean, I like last season I played a lot of OD and Tundra Orcs, just two factions I can play without thinking too hard and hopefully get my opponent caught out in something. And it's kind of a similar thing now. I'm playing Wayfarers, and my first couple games have gone pretty well with the Wayfarers and have been not that many turns. So I feel like I almost wish that it would be like a 15-minute timer sometime. But I know that would kill Ben.
Oh god, it was a 25-minute at Gen Con, and I did not fare well. But so wow, so it's been 2 turns already. Vexer's turn, I had to do a double take. I was wait, Vexer has taken a turn already.
1 out of 3 on the Blast Forge cog.
Oh my goodness. But he did that very quickly. As he just got the live game, just run up, place a Blast Forge cog, easy. It seems like Prophet's getting in there. I assume just like let's just zap the Inventor as much as possible this entire game. Seems like a pretty sound strategy. Forward gates, all of the Knights moves from the 10 health gate. Jackson, tell me about the Knights move from the 10 health gate.
Something that's way back in first edition people used to talk about. It just allows you to have the most summoning spots. Like if you kind of look at those, there's no overlapping summoning spots with those 3 gates, which is just kind of handy. And now we can place gates even farther forward, so it's just a nice way to do it.
I didn't even think about that. That's a very cool way of. You're completely right. No overlapping spots. These are also great gates for Storm Turtle.
Yeah. No, I wish I should. Yeah, I should be chatting about the game, but it's funny that like I don't feel like a ton of factions love the Knights move gate, but like all 3 Goblins factions like them. Like the cave goblins and Krusk and sand goblins like them because of cling. Like you just want to be able to spawn things adjacent to things, and then storm goblins love it because of circuit. Just being able to you want to create these big circuits and zap everything. So it's like all three goblin factions like the knights move gates for
Vexer
different
going
reasons.
He's just like, you know what? I'm gonna summon some dudes.
You must have what was that
A barricade, you think?
barricade? Yeah, I think that's the only way.
Yeah,
you go for
very
this.
likely. Or maybe, yeah, because they usually don't place many extra gates. I feel like those are often an easy discard as the inventor.
So this is a great sentry cog placement because it doesn't allow for any shenanigans with circuits, with vault
The vault
swappers.
swappers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
is the barricade really good because that's gonna stop circuits? Like, is that a big part of your strategy? Is like actually play your gates and stuff as the inventor in this matchup, or what's going on?
So from what I've seen, the inventor kind of wants to make like a region of the map or the region of the board which is just theirs. Like they make a fortress, and then Storm Goblins is trying to infiltrate that fortress. And that's sort of how the back and forth in this matchup. And so Vexer
I
might
wonder what
be
he's
trying.
debating right now. I wonder if he's debating whether he's going to place a gate or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder where he would put up a gate.
And so do you think that do you think, Chair, is that if the inventor sort of has a fortress, if the storm goblins tried to like hang back, can the inventor compete at a range with the storm goblins?
Yeah, the inventor is actually, I think, arguably better, at least in my opinion, because you need to think the storm goblins, the only real range they have outside of Thrak and champions are witches. And that's why I'm very adamant about, if you face the storm goblins, one of the best strategies or most successful strategies for me has been just trying to go after the witches as soon as possible. Like if you're able to kill a witch, go for them. Just because they're the highest, they're basically majority of the dice you can do with commons as storm goblins. And once they're removed, you really, I kind of feel like some relief that they're all gone.
That's really interesting. That seems very helpful. It's funny that Vexer did this, like got this far in about like 10 seconds, and now it's choking up.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's a gate placement he's debating. Because I don't know what else could be. I mean, he's got one magic, so maybe he's thinking of getting a mag cog out or another sentry cog placement.
Yeah, or just redoing
Nope,
everything.
he just jumped to the attack phase, so whatever it was, he decided not to do it.
Yep, just giving it some time, because 45 minutes, I mean, it's not a lot, but like it is enough time that like if you want to have a 10-minute ram shift turn, you can. Like you'll need to play your other turns slightly faster, but you can take a 10-minute turn if you really want to.
You're going to see a barricade? Yeah.
There you go. You were both right.
Yeah, this is one of the few matchups I feel like you do with the inventor want to block yourself off. Like I said, because I think, at least right now, I think that the Forge have better range game, or just better commons in general, without a circuit.
Yeah, if he's going to start a circuit, he's basically got to walk into the sentry cog.
Yep. And then think about all those clicks you have to make. Like, think about the time advantage.
As the most important competitive factor in this matchup is the clicks. It's interesting. I love it when matchups really force a faction to do something different than sort of their plan A, their normal strategy. And so like seeing the inventor actually place gates seems really interesting, or defensive barricades like we're seeing here. I mean, I'm sure I'm just bad at the Forge in general, but I don't play a ton of barricades. So, like I usually reserve them for like really critical spots. Like walling myself off with a barricade like this is the play I would never make with the inventor normally. But against circuit, I love it. I love keeping myself safe. And this sentry cog, like stopping volt swappers from getting in there, like that is actually genius. I'm a huge fan.
And the Emperor Cog too, in a spot where you can diagonally attack in front of that barricade. So if anything's gonna wail on the barricade, it's gonna get hit. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless he maybe just backs up and uses a witch and shoots the barricade from range. You know, that might be something Prophet will do here. I don't know.
A great card Prophet could have would be the champion Braca, just getting in the inventor's face, not caring
Yeah.
too much about the +1.
Yeah, I'm playing this matchup right now as the Forged in a public game, and they summoned Braca as I tried to play defensively with Sentry Cogs, and they just kind of wrecked up everything I was doing with Braca.
Braca's great.
Who knew that Baraka was great? I think it was in the Gen Con finals. The winning blow was from Braca. The Gen Con.
Cool.
Wow, we have 2 Bracas on screen at once. That was really quite impressive. The Gen Con finals was Storm Goblins versus Phoenix Elves, which was quite pitiful. Very very sorry for morning time there. And
but I mean,
came down to yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's just coming with the deck that brought him there last time, you know. So he said, "I'll play Phoenix Elves in the final again." And I think the first time he was playing with the nerfed Phoenix Elves, they didn't have the buff yet.
Plays a mean Phoenix Elves. This is fascinating. I love seeing Thrak without Volt Swappers. This is so weird.
Yeah, they just are very situational in this matchup. The Sentry Cogs down.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like Sentry Cogs, because they're so rooted, it would be hard to have like in the right spots, but there's just no way here with this like perfect structure formation of the two diagonal structures right there.
Yeah, Prophet is not enjoying this setup right now. We can tell. I don't see their time. Do either of you see their time?
No, Joe removed that feature because he hates us.
Oh, okay. So we don't know who's running out of time.
We do not, but you know, they probably won't run out of time. I don't think out of all the scuffles we've done, we're yet to have one that has actually gone to time, or like someone has run out of time. We've had a few where people are on 3-day clocks and would have run out of time, but no game has actually been determined on time on my stream yet.
Yeah,
so today's the day.
The Stifty Massimo one was pretty long, I think.
Yeah.
But they were on 3-day clock.
Penn's live league game yesterday almost went to time. Listen, it was calculated decisions. As the Fae, the early turns matter. You gotta think about them, and then you can think less the later turns. I was in full control yesterday. Will not endure any slander. The witch goes there. What's that witch doing? I do not comprehend.
For 1 damage, I think.
that seems exceptionally bad.
I think the idea is that it's 4 health. You probably will not kill it. Or if you do try to kill it, you get in range for some type of... Oh, he hit the Strider. Okay. That's big. The 2 for 2 is big there. Any type of... Yep.
Yeah, I was saying getting rid of that annoying Sentry Cog is helpful.
Yep. Any Sentry Cog gone is helpful.
I wonder. I have to. Oh, I did. But both Vexer and Prophet did agree to come and chat after the game, so we'll have them on. I wanna remember this witch and ask what that's about. Like, I wonder if Prophet is just so committed to the assassination that any 1 damage matters, and just like this unit's kind of annoying for the inventor. This is like such like a meta big brain play, because like what are you doing here? Like maybe like if the inventor moves over here, that's gonna be a bad spot for them. Like, because the easiest way to take out this witch would be to have the inventor move and then like build on it, but maybe that will just be exposing the inventor too much to do that. I have no
Or
idea.
he just forgot how Circuit worked and didn't realize that the witch was going to just do 1 damage.
I mean, I'd say I doubt it, but in a live game, anything's possible, really.
Maybe it's bait. Maybe he wants the inventor where the inventor just
Well,
moves.
Prophet's taking Vexer's taking the bait. Vexer's moving 1 space to get this juicy witch in the graveyard.
I wonder if he has another barricade or a gate, which he's going to place in front of the inventor.
Hmm.
What he's got? He's got 3 magic. What are you thinking? Maybe a blast forge. That's good. Especially if he goes 3 for 3, or if he has a workshop. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Still a little bit risky though. The witch lives this turn.
No longer.
No longer.
But I guess that's interesting because what you pointed out is Magcogs kind of suck against Circuit.
Yep.
So how do you
Does it have
use
to be adjacent
Magcogs
to
at all?
something?
You
Yeah.
just use them for damage on summoner. Sorry, on.
So just like this, you use it for Forge and Flames damage.
You just assume it's gonna die next turn. Just use it for, like I said, Forge and Flames, and then it's gonna get hopefully 2 damage on Thrak.
Yeah.
Just don't depend on them to live.
It's not in possession
Yes.
to hit Thrak this turn though.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. I see the situation of like you're just if the inventor 3 for 3 only got 2 dice out of 3 on a 3 health witch, that's suddenly super bad. That's suddenly very, very bad. To just have the inventor be eating dice like that. So I understand it. It's interesting because like the Sand Goblins matchup as well was an interesting Forge matchup where God, that sound effect is terrible. People are doing things on stream. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Where we just like don't play Magcogs. Like in the Sand Goblin matchup, or like the Magcogs are normally so essential to everything Forged, and all of a sudden you got to do other things. Oh, we are going forward. Are we attacking a gate? I mean, we must be.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I really didn't expect that Magcog to go forward. What were you guys thinking?
Well, I mean, it's not connected to Circuit unless you put something in the middle of those 2, I guess. You know, where yeah, I don't know. He's probably gonna jam something in there though. Yeah, it seems like he's just kind of throwing the Magcog away, but maybe he really wants to chip at that gate or just occupy the space so it's harder to get to the inventor.
Yeah, I mean, denying the summoning spot is nice. Oh, I guess it protects the workshop. I didn't think about that. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, it's hard to get 3. There's almost no ways without champions to get 3 damage on that workshop.
I guess that's true because I mean, you play a witch, but
There's no
circuit damage won't apply to the workshop. Oh goodness.
Here comes the
goodness.
overcharge.
Yeah, so if the inventor had missed on that witch to the side, it would have been 4 dice on him right now. Fascinating. Well, this turn was quick.
One cool thing that Prophet's doing is he's making sure his witches only take 1 damage from Circuit. L.
That could be really devastating because he was hoping to get at least 2 out of 3 there.
Yeah, I'm sure we're looking at a. What's the event called?
The retreat grounded.
There we go. One of us got there.
We'll see.
Surely we're looking at that event, Prophet. Surely you're not just gonna die right now, right?
This is not real at this point.
I feel like he'd have played it already if he has it.
It's interesting. Well, I think he had it and was gonna use it, but the fact that this Blastforge Cog lived actually means that, like, it's like maximum No, you definitely play it here. It's less dice than if that Blast Forge cog had not lived, because then the inventor could have just walked up and built 2 things, and that would have been bad. Do you think
Yeah, you can
Prophet's
definitely die
considering
next turn.
not playing it? Sorry, yeah?
If he doesn't play it, then there's a good chance he dies, especially if there's modular. Like modular would just
Right?
lose in the game. Yeah.
Or even like another mag cog would be helpful too. Yeah, but yeah, modular and a mag cog to be it. We have to ask him what he's thinking about right now too. Maybe it's more the discard decision that he's thinking about, how much magic he wants. Maybe he already has the grounded and is going to play it soon.
Yeah, ideally you want 3 or 4 magic as storm goblins. That allows you to play
Really? What
multiple
do you need
things.
all that magic for? I mean, I don't play the faction, so
Braca?
I don't know.
Braca.
For
Braca.
Braca. I gotcha.
I mean, Braca could get to the inventor next turn, most likely. But
What a busted champ. Oh my god.
but Ezek is really good too. Like he's a deck building all-star.
Yeah, Azek is so good. I just need to remember when I'm playing him not to kill him myself, because that's what my problem is. Always include him in my chains.
Because the funny thing with Ezek is he can like pull your summoner out of trouble, you know, just do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I had a league game where
No, please.
I had a league game where I literally won due to inactivity damage from the other summoner and just making my summoner just float around with Azek, just kiting with Azek while their summoner is slowly losing to inactivity damage.
And so, like, would you get a shot off and then use Ezek to retreat the next turn? Because Ezek is still only the move phase, so you can't, like, attack and then retreat after attacking.
So it was Tundra Orcs versus Storm Goblins, and so Tundra Orcs have no real big movements, and so basically we were on their side of the board, and then we were down to like 2 cards each. I had Thrak and Azek, and he had Grognak and what's that amazing champion that the 11 health
champion?
Targan. Oh, Shank.
Shank, yeah. And basically, I would just run around the field, shooting at their 2 exposed gates, while Shank and Grognak were slowly waddling towards me.
Oh no!
That's great. That's great.
All right, it's back to Vexer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm just thinking about Ezek. I'm thinking about because like when I first read that card, I was like, this is insane. This seems like the most insane champ. And then like in my games, I actually find him pretty hard to use, and I end up just playing Braca more. But like, you shall not forget how just absolutely insane that ability is to just teleport anything like all over the map.
I haven't played as much base Storm Goblins as I have played Ezek in other decks, so that's where my Ezek is strong thing comes from. He could be up there with, I mean, in Wayfarers you can put him in the same deck as Varn and Boldo, which is just an insane amount of movement and shenanigans.
Yeah. So what's going on here? All right. Vexer's listening to you, Chairs, and just taking out the witch, or at least trying to.
Yep.
I don't know. So what should I be keeping my eyes on for the inventor's health? Like, at what point is it too far gone? Like, does the inventor need to avoid ever getting like attacked this matchup and he'll be fine? Is he in danger even then? Like how scary of a situation is the inventor generally in here?
I would think it's hard for the Storm Goblins to do more than like 5 damage in a turn. So that's when you're like in trouble. The danger zone.
I was gonna say the exact thing, Jexik. I'd say around 5 you start getting really worried. 5 is the magic number, I think, the Storm Goblins. But even, look, I think as the inventor, you don't want to get hit regardless. Like, this is one of those matchups, hopefully most of the damage you take is through chains, and not getting directly hit.
Sorry, how much damage? What was the number you gave, Cheris?
Same as Jexic. I think 5 health is when you're really scared.
I gotcha.
But he's just 1 or 2 damage from 5, so we want to be. He's close to being scared. He doesn't want to just give away damage at any point here.
Well, so is this a flawed way to think about storm goblins, like that? There's just a certain amount of guaranteed damage they're gonna do to your summoner, like can I think about storm goblins in like, all right, I have a 10 health summoner, I'm just gonna assume that I'm gonna get pinged for 5 throughout the game, like that my summoner is just gonna take 5 damage through circuits that I can't really avoid, so I have to sort of pretend like my summoner is 5 health. Is that flawed? How should I be thinking about this?
Yeah, I think that's a good way of thinking about it. I think it's very hard to escape a certain amount of damage. That said, you do want to. There are, unless you can get like something very advantageous, you want to try to avoid any unit attacking you. Whether it is Vault Swapper, like even just getting hit by Vault Swappers can drastically change the game. Just that 1 extra damage. If all you're getting hit by chain, then you're probably are in a pretty good position in any faction.
Yeah.
Or as any faction, sorry.
Tortugatron is also saying to everyone to go sign up for Turtle Mania. I didn't even realize. It looks like that just launched. The signups just launched today. So Turtle Mania, is this 2? Is this 3? Is out. Go sign
Turtle
up
Mania
for it.
2. Yeah, I signed up for it. I was like the 4th one. It was like me, Eden, and Beans and Tort, I think.
That's, and that if it's the same as last time, it's you pick a faction symbol, or you pick a deck building symbol, and then you play the decks of those symbols. So if you play,
it's
like,
a little different
Divine,
now that there's 4 per wave. There's 4 waves, so you have to pick one that you're not going to play for each symbol.
So if you pick Divine and you don't like Sarah, you can just play High Elves and Malaria.
Then you add another wrinkle. It's almost like a little Sudoku puzzle, because you have to veto 1 faction from each wave as well after you pick your 4 symbols. So you kind of have to pick it as you go. Does that make sense? So you have to have
veto one of your opponent factions?
No, one of yours. So okay, maybe veto is the wrong word, but like when you have to pick 1 for, you have to pick 3 from each wave and 3 from each of your symbols. Yeah, that's what I mean. So like I was really struggling to decide what faction from wave 3 to not play, if that makes any sense.
I see. Well, seems like fun. I'm glad that rules are mixing up too. I think the Ciabatta's Shibata Bing Shibata Boom is still open, right? As well
until like the 21st, I think. So we got time.
That tournament excites me as well. Strictly teams, and I heard that he's doing a thing this time where like it's team tournaments, who encourage to like table talk with your teammates and like discuss moves. And so he said that every single game is gonna start at the same time but be on a 14-day clock this time. So everything will be over in 28 days guaranteed. But you can take as long as you want on your turns. Anyway, here we go. Back in the game.
The 3 for 3.
That is huge, because if that didn't go down, there might be a recharge next turn. That's like that witch is going back. Yeah, that is huge. Ooh, but did not get the gate. Yikes. I wonder if...
there it is, a barricade.
There you go. Think we're going for the other gate? Just trying to... Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, probably. I don't think you go for that Strider here. There's no way you're killing it anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So Vexer's doing a good job where it's impossible for Vault Swappers to attack the Inventor, like in this position where Thrak can get a chain off, but there's no way a unit can also attack the Inventor.
No, I'm genuinely shocked that...
Oh, he's going for the econ play or something.
Fascinating. I feel like it'd be so much better to
how to kill the gate.
Down the gate. Maybe he doesn't think it's that much of a threat right now, and he'll just kill it next turn anyway.
I guess where the gate is would be a really bad spot for a witch to be.
True.
Ooh, interesting. Oh, no, you're so right, because then you just zap it and the witch shoots the Inventor. What? Vexer is on another plane right now, or I just don't understand this matchup. This is blowing my mind.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. He was thinking like a range unit there would be hurtful. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the inventor gets down to 3 health, or like it's over. Like I don't think
Yeah.
there's a way you
Yeah.
win.
No, we
Especially
are
this early
officially
on.
on the Storm Goblin side of the board as the inventor. And you're right, Jackson. Like the inventor is just in a position where there's no way that he's getting attacked because the Volt Swappers do not work on summoners. So this guy can go basically adjacent to any unit that he wants, but not a summoner. And with these gates here as well, or with these structures, just can't, like, those are getting in the way and can't be circuit damaged. Ooh, the Kite Rider, the unit that everyone forgets about.
When we were just saying no one can get to the inventor, and there he goes.
I forgot that unit existed.
Me too. Kite is the worst best unit ever.
It really is. Yeah, I love the Kite Riders.
It can self damage. Like when you get it's really bad when you get like a range and special and you just damage yourself only.
It's so funny because I think everyone at the same time had the same part where you read Lightning Strike and it's like, oh, it's AoE damage, and then like you do it, and then it hits itself because that's how it works, and you're like, wait, that's a trash ability. That sucks.
It's just a reuse of Quen's ability, but it's not as good because it's melee. So
it's so funny. Yeah, and then that will also break your circuits. I just love it. I love it. It is the thematic successor to the Bug Biter. It is great.
Oh, that's true. If the Kite Rider hits first, he could break the circuit with that.
Yep.
Didn't even attack. He's just gonna
totally hasn't happened to me ever. Have never done that.
Yep. Yeah, Prophet attack with the Kite Rider, rolled a special. There goes the circuit.
Conceded the game on the spot.
True.
Oh wow.
See, this is the worst feeling. Oh,
there was the special, but inventors at 6. This is scary. Is this,
and he can't run away?
Can the inventor get out of this? This is really tight. I'm expecting either a very thinky turn from Vexer here, or just a very swift "I've got nothing" turn.
Nah. The inventor can go to the side, just move the Blastboard College, but then you're sort of stuck in the side. And if Prophet has another gate, especially which can go to that side, it's very dangerous.
Yeah, I feel like surely there's something sneaky with like Ember with a Magcog or something, or a swap upgrade that can like steal this spot back. The Kite Rider cannot speak today. But even then, the inventor's just still stuck in the middle of the field.
And if he stays there, it could happen again. With another Kite Rider.
What were you saying, Chairs? Where were you saying you would rather put the inventor right now? Like, where do you feel like
you
the
kind of
safest
have to
spot
go
is?
The left side, or you can sort of
towards Thrak, or
away from Thrak.
Away.
I think
from
there's
Thrak,
2 options here, which I can think of. You either gate the spot, which is empty currently, next to the Storm Goblin's gate, next to the inventor, or you do what Vexer seems to be doing right now. You just go to the right side, so away from Thrak.
Yeah. It's so funny. I feel like this turn, like on a dime, I was like, wow, look at how great of a position this is for the inventor. And then I remembered that Kite Riders existed. And now I'm sad. And every single one of those, the 4 damage pings that the inventor has endured, are all from Chain Lightning.
The Blast Forge can't destroy the gate and then have the Embercog attack through, because he would kill the Embercog unless he's got coolant. But it feels like it'd be a waste of coolant on Embercog. So
that's true.
No, great point.
Yeah, what's the long-term strategy for Vexer here? Do we need to go for Thrak?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think you just try to kill these Striders and try to get away to safety.
Ally like says, "Where's Titan when you need him?" Interesting. What were you saying?
There's a chance just.
I'm listening, I promise.
No, you're good. There's a chance there's just another Kite Rider next turn. Get another chain. No, he's probably gonna switch with the
Yeah.
barricade. That's what's gonna happen. That makes sense. So during my game, actually.
Oh, that's so clever. You're so good at this game. Sorry, what were we saying?
During my game, Vexer had this cool strategy for a little bit where you do. It's really good in this match. You have Helma, and you do Helma just barricades and gates over and over again. That's very annoying as a Storm Goblins player.
So you just have
repositioning
infinite
gates.
barricades and gates, or you just
Exactly.
keep repositioning them. Though they go to the bottom of your deck, so you'd have to do it at the end because they go to the bottom
end,
of your
yeah.
deck, right? So I see.
He did it in his last few cards, yeah. It's like
But
his
so you
last
just
hand.
stall out the game until the end game, and then that's what you do.
Yeah. And then in our game also, it reached a state where this is, 1,000 IQ brain Vexer. He's like, I kept your gate alive because I knew I would have to hit it late game. I was like, God damn it. And it won. Won that game.
What matchup was that?
Same exact matchup.
I see.
Yeah. It was,
So he's got to face 2 Storm Goblins in that pool.
Oh, this was this was your live league game.
yep. This was my lag league game. Timed out.
You
I was a turn away from winning. Tragic. It's tragedy.
were you really guaranteed victory if you just got one more turn?
I would have to hit a 1 out of 4 ranged or 1 out of 6 ranged to win. So it would have.
Wait, you had 6 range dice on 1 health?
I had the Sentry Cog. I had 2 guaranteed damage between circuits and the champion, and then I'd have to hit 1 with 6 range dice, and then
That
Vexer would
does
die next
sound
turn to inactivity damage.
fairly likely. Yeah, I'm a little bit resentful of you and Prophet for making me play against Storm Goblins as the Fae. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
Is it like the Pokemon electric beats water type?
It really is. It's really quite funny. It's real like, and this is a tangent, but I feel like the last 2 deck releases have been like one of the factions is the other faction's worst matchup. Like Grox, I think there's a case to be made that Forge are their worst matchup, which is really funny because I feel like
It's even.
part of why part of why I didn't realize that the Grox were so strong was because my first like 20 games were against the Forged, and that matchup is fairly even. And then Fae just get demolished. Yeah, like electric water type Pokemon, etc. Just low health units cannot deal with the zaps.
Yeah, it's not like wait in is particularly useful when you can just zap them.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I haven't. It's been probably since like the beginning of the season since I've really played Fae much, except when I get them randomly.
Yeah, me too. I really don't play them much.
I've been on a Wayfarer's kick.
So the interesting thing is that Vexer can also block with the Magcog 2 of the gate positions, which Storm Goblins has. So the Strider will be one.
Ooh. That's not good.
Oh, that feels bad.
That's in fact
I
quite
guess-
bad.
What did you do here? I mean, you maybe swap the barricade with the Ember Cog and try to just have the no.
Oh,
You
but
just
then that's
left
going to
Kite
damage
Rider
you.
alive.
I mean,
don't
Kite
think
Rider at the end of the day is just 1 damage. Like, is that the end of the world?
Oh, and he's blocking the gate spot. That's good. And it might kill itself. The Kite Rider might just kill itself instead.
Yeah, I mean, if we get the same roll as last turn. Yeah, so Cherries, you were the first one to see this play. I love this. The double barricades playing around chain lighting. This is so interesting. I've been like a casual Storm Goblins player that hasn't even like tried to play them at all, so totally unjustified in my hatred. But like this is so interesting, just how everything that Vexer is doing is playing around circuits. Like this is totally changing the game. I'm kind of falling in love with Storm Goblins here and what they're doing.
Forged or Storm Goblins you're falling in love with, or both?
Sorry? A storm
Are you following
goblin.
Storm Goblins?
I like that storm goblins are just like totally changing the dynamic of like what the forge should do. Like this
I see.
barricade. If you saw these two barricades in any other matchup, you would be like, "What is going on?" But here
No,
it's like
1 second.
genius. Yeah, no worries.
It's also very smart for Vexer to put the modulate on the barricade instead of the blast forge cog, because the blast forge cog could die next turn
I
versus the
see.
barricade has no chance.
Yeah, and because the barricade isn't being zapped, it would be
At least
extra
2
work
turns.
to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't go for the gate though, and instead hit the Strider. That was a interesting choice. Because he could have killed the gate, most likely.
I know, but
Instead
I
just
wonder.
Sorry.
I wonder if he hasn't been attacking the gate because he just assumes that at some point, there's just gonna be a fortune flame that's gonna kill it.
Cool. Yeah, no, I agree. Maybe. Exactly. You can just kill with Fortune Flames. That is a good point.
Are we gonna get?
What's the purpose of this Vault Swapper?
It's just rough. We're just slowly. We're gonna be at 4. We're getting very close to that number that you said was just over.
Oh, sorry. The Vault Swapper isn't the chain. I didn't even realize that. It's a long chain. Yeah, so once you hit, it's not that you lose once you hit 4 or 5 as an inventor. It's more you just now need to make just a complete barricade around the inventor, and just be really afraid. You just need to start gaining yourself up. I would. Interesting.
It's a lot of volt swappers.
Yeah, so what's the argument? Okay, so if you want to hit the mag cog, so the argument is whether do you summon 2 vault swappers and then get hit with the mag cog, or just 1, and then
It's
just
2
ignore the
volt
mag-
swappers. Yeah, it's 2. I guess just 1 is, there's still a purpose to that, to hit the blast forge. Kind of an interesting dynamic with recharge where like since you're bringing back 2 already, you kind of might as well just kill them both. Like, what's the alternative? Like, leave it on the field and don't zap it. Like, it's going back to your deck either way. Or might just be better.
No, great point. Yeah, recharge is a. You could do a cool play, trying to get your Strider back. Try to hit your Kite Rider on a mag cog. Try to get the special, so your Strider goes back with the recharge.
Oh, try to get your. Oh, that would be cute. I did not even know that's how that worked. Yeah, because if the Strider dies to the lightning ability, no. It's isn't this the lightning strike is a lightning ability, so I don't think you can damage.
Oh,
Striders
true. You're right. So Striders you can't get back. You can do that with witches though.
Yeah.
I've done that with witches, yeah.
You can hit your own witches with Kite Riders.
Mm-hmm.
It's brutal. It's brutal. Yep, that's a big circuit.
So they're just praying for the 2 for 2.
Oh, Tortugatron. Yeah, Tortugatron points out a good point that Ben Franklin cannot attack this turn. If the Kite Rider attacks and it rolls a special, it breaks the circuit, and then we cry ourselves to sleep. So that is only 1 damage. I didn't realize that. That's a lot nicer.
I think you're still fine. If you can kill the Mag Cog, the Blast Forge, the Ember Cog, and get the barricade down to 1, that's a great turn. Especially with Vexer only at 2 mana, or 2 magic. But it's really dependent. Does this 2 for 2 go? Can you kill the Mag Cog and the Blast Forge?
Nestle says, thought he'd replace the Kite with a Volt Swapper. Yeah, that's interesting. Because then you could attack. And it really does seem like once the inventor's at 4, I'm scared. I'm quite scared. So this is so we've seen the storm goblins. Once we're out of events, it's not too bad. So this is our first recharge, if I'm not mistaken, and we've seen one overcharge. Is that right?
Yes, one overcharged, and this is the first recharge, I think.
Yeah,
Or is it-
and yeah, and we've seen one. We haven't seen any discharge, and we've seen one grounded as well.
yeah,
But
discharges are
recharge.
massive.
Sorry.
So go on.
No. What did you say was massive?
Discharges are massive in this matchup. You just get rid of an Ember
Oh,
Cog or Blast
interesting.
Forge, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Super value.
Yeah. It seems like all those events. You're counting the days until those events are gone. That's when you can be safe again.
Mm.
It's a pretty good circuit, you have to say. As circuits come.
And before profit times out, just clicking all these.
You know it too well. It's so funny that you timed out. Just imagine you like on the last few turns just frantically clicking and then like clicking the wrong thing and you accidentally click on the card and then you're like, oh my god. It just sounds so because it's such a tiny little button to press like destroy, and so like you're just like panicking trying to click on the little thing. Yeah, I do wish we could see the time. Maybe we should heckle Joe and ask if we could get the timer back. I think he removed the timer because you don't like people like stalking timers on like tournament 3-day games. Though your opponent still knows your timer, so your opponent can still be shady and try to time you out. I don't know. I feel like in a 45-minute game, it'd be fine to just have the timers be public. So maybe we can ask Joe to have the spectator timers back for just 45-minute games, so we can be like, oh my god, Prophet only has 10 minutes left. What's he gonna do?
So good news for Vexer is he still has most of. I think he's only played one Sentry Cog, so he still probably has all of those. I doubt he discarded them just because of how good they are in this matchup. And he has one more modular. Bad news is that Thrak just got, I guess, 4 cards back. But the thing is
my
that
goodness.
getting back Vault Swappers is not really like it looks scary because they have like 3 more cards in their deck, but then you realize they're all Vault Swappers and you're like, whatever, ones which die in one turn, whatever.
Yeah.
But then he also has 5 magic.
So Prophet's hand right now is the 2 cards we don't know, but then the next 4 cards are all Vault Swappers.
It's a kite also. A kite rider.
It's a kite and a kite. Okay. So we do know 3 of the cards in Prophet's hand, and then the top card of his deck is a Vault Swapper.
Yeah, I wonder if Prophet. How many Vault Swappers died that turn? I think it was 2. Let me see.
That turn, it was 3 and a kite rider.
So I'm curious if Prophet did the order right for destroying them, that he gets the kite rider back instead of 3 Vault Swappers.
That's what I just checked. Yes, that is what happened. So Prophet ordered it so it's 2 Volt, 1 kite, and then a Volt
later
on top of deck right now. So the first 3 are in his hand. That did come up in a tournament game. Someone was in the Gen Con tournament. They like were putting the cards that they did the swamp and recharge was active and were putting the cards back, but then they like put them back in their hands, and I was like, wait, no, it's on top of your deck, and then they accidentally put it in the discard pile because like imagine playing Storm Goblins on a 25-minute clock, just very stressful. And then they were like, wait, do I need to tell you the order that I'm putting these back on my deck? And I'm like, actually you do. So then they had to tell me that, which was you think playing Storm Goblins is bad on a 45-minute clock? Try a 25-minute clock where you also need to move the cards around the board.
That is true, but at least you don't need to click. Clicking is the most obnoxious thing. Click, 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 click.
The worst thing possible.
So you can see that Vexer is doing what I said earlier, where 5 health, fortress in. Don't get anywhere near these, because you're basically guaranteed to go to 3 health with overcharge.
Yeah.
And
it
then
takes a hit from like a witch or something to kill you, or Thrak
Exactly.
even.
Yeah. And sorry, Jex, I had you muted for a second there. Sorry if I've been talking over you for the last minute.
Oh,
I'm back.
I didn't say too much.
Okay, good. Oh,
interesting, because you were talking about Gen Con. I was like, what does that have to do with what Jexic said?
oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I heard it because there was some background noise, so I muted you. And that's not your message.
No, that makes sense. I had
just talking.
stuff going on.
Oh yeah, sometimes I'll just be muted and 2 people will be talking and be like, wait, why isn't anyone listening to me? So is the inventor safe? I think this is the only thing I care about. This is just my constant question. Are we dead yet? Is the inventor still alive?
Surprised he attacked that gate. He's not going to kill it.
Inventor potentially goes down to 2 this turn, but it's not dead.
He could get a kite rider out again, or volt swappers even.
Oh, he could go to 1. You're right. Potentially goes to 1.
Oh no, don't say that. Oh yeah, because the kite rider comes down and then, so it's
overcharged.
1 recharge and 1 overcharge is what we really have to. I feel like if I was better about playing against the Storm Goblins, I would really be counting exactly how many Volt Swappers are left in the deck, because you can sort of have an exact number. I mean, not you know there's 1 recharge, but then we should have a number right now of how many Volt Swappers we know they have. It's either, well, I guess it's never greater than 5. I don't know. Is it 4? Is it even possibly 5 Volt Swappers in the deck plus another recharge right now? I haven't been counting. We know 3 just went back. I'm not sure how many were still in the deck, but it seems like it's a good idea to count how many Volt Swappers are left. If only I was a better player. But either way, that's a lot.
Yeah, so Inventor potentially goes down to either 2 or 1 this turn, mattering if there's overcharge or not.
No.
Or I guess I'm not thinking about gate spots. Maybe not. Maybe not.
So trying, if only you could control F and figure it out. Summon Volt Swapper. Carry on while I control F everything. This is too hard for me. I don't know. So some amount of Volt Swappers. So is this a sort of strategy you would expect with the Inventor right now to go in the midfield, or would you also think about playing as a more passive Inventor and letting the Storm Goblins come to you? Like, where do you want the fortress to be?
Ideally, you have the fortress in a place which you can have units attacking the gates of the Storm Goblins, so you're not forced out of the fortress. Like, you want to have you don't want the Storm Goblins to be able to basically get you stuck in your fortress. You can't attack anything, and you just die to attrition.
Yeah.
But someplace you don't just get zapped to death also.
This is rough. So Bracca's here. Yes. There goes Bracca.
Bracca's so good.
I mean, really, just having all their champs cost 4 is nice.
It is quite an insane champ suite. pretty busto. Wait, you're not attacking the inventor this turn?
I think he just wanted to make sure he killed that Blast Forge.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but like,
He doesn't want to
yeah,
get
go.
threatened, you know.
Oh, that's
That's
true.
my thought.
With no,
Because the
you're
inventor
right
can't
about
walk
that.
forward very much. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that.
And also with the barricade, he could like, I don't know, maybe do something interesting with modular, but
Inventor does know how to burst damage. This seems terrible for the inventor here. Do you guys see any hope?
at this point, it's looking pretty bad.
strats?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't see it.
like,
I mean,
like,
he's
because
just gonna
maybe
he's gonna keep turtling up, but Bracket could probably get to him eventually. You know.
The
Bracket
problem is also
tends to
two of
do
your
that.
units are dead. Like if you summon two commons, they're just both dead to this to the event discharges. Just 4 magic
Yeah.
down the drain.
And like, econ on board, we're not terribly behind with like.
Oof, he's gonna
Five in
take
deck, 4 in
inactivity
hand.
damage unless he's got a ranged unit.
Overcharge
Watch out.
Braca. Let's go.
Oh my goodness, it better not happen. That'd be dirty. Yeah, I mean, like, maybe the only thing I'm imagining is somehow the inventor just sits in a hole for the rest of the game, and like Hellmaw comes out, and like we sort of do the thing where we switch summoners. Like,
Oh, that's a
This
nice play
is-
by Vexer.
Going for the Braca kill.
oh, that is enough to kill Braca. Heck yeah, down with Braca. Get out of here. All right, I
Even
mean,
still, I don't know if that
that's
gets him out of this situation entirely, though.
it's a glimmer of hope. We will take it.
But yeah, so I made my team for CB9.
Ooh. For are you doing both?
Yeah, we're doing both. It's me, Phosmonaut, and Nylok.
Ooh.
Chicago squad.
Does Vexer discard anything? That is the question.
Can't do a lot with one magic, so maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, he's only got one card though. Oh no, he's got 5 in deck. Never mind. Yeah.
I'm just assuming both these Ember Cogs are dead, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I think actually no, maybe one of them was. No, they're both dead. They're both dead.
Oh, you think he's gonna discharge him?
Yeah, I think it's double discharge. He at least has one discharge with this few decks.
That would be so mean. Okay, it is genuinely kind of hard to connect that circuit though, right? Like,
You kill the barricade, you just
the-
need 1 damage on the cog, right?
yeah, I mean, that's true. Has anyone been counting witches? How many more of those do we have to deal with?
I think 2 more witches.
You think 2 more? Summoned.
All right, let's see.
I don't even know the name of the witch. Oh my goodness. What is it called?
Storm Witch.
Storm Witch. Have any been returned to deck? Storm Witch.
So
Okay,
there's
we've only
3
summoned
left.
2 of
Oh,
them.
there's 2 left. 2 left. Yeah.
And were
That was right.
were there any recharge turns?
There was 1 recharge turn. Let's see.
And the recharge turn was not involving a witch. So we got 3 witches left, potentially more. Juicy Witch,
We
you're
have
so right,
2.
Degrada.
Because one of the witches you start out with, right? And then he summoned 2, so there's only 2 more.
Oh, you're so right about that. Easy. Only 2 witches. We got this. Inventor isn't even dead yet. I feel like playing the Fae has truly just like altered my mindset permanently in Summoner Wars. Like, if my summoner is not dead, the game is still going. Like the amount of games I have won with Faye where Nymera is at like 3 or less health is quite remarkable. It is a very
Probably
sizable
most of
chunk
them.
of them. You know, like it
you gotta
is
get her
like
in there.
almost every game she's at least less than half, and very often less than that. Allies is saying is 100% sure he loses here. Allies, there already was a poll. You missed it. Let's see. I think the poll did agree with you. The poll was 98% profit, 2% Vexer. Very sad.
I mean, I think poor Vexer just seems to have no. I mean, I'm curious if he actually had any Sentry Cogs, but Sentry Cogs are. He's only played one Sentry Cog this entire game, or I guess 2 at this point, and one of them was like really late. Like you
It
need
was
Sentry
really
Cogs
good.
early in this matchup.
Yeah. That first turn looked great.
Yeah.
That first turn was awesome.
Here comes a discharge.
Yes, there will be a call after the game, Alice. Eden, you and Nestle are gonna get to split a whole like 200 points between you.
So it's been about an hour since the game started, which means people need to start thinking about their time. This is I'm telling you, Storm Goblins can lose very easily in this position.
That
Still
would be
quick press up.
that would be very funny, especially if hopefully both the players know how the Summoner Wars clocks are currently very bugged, and if you do not press refresh at least a couple times throughout the game, the time that is being displayed to you just might not be the time that you have at all. Which Joe has said he's working on, but press refresh, and maybe Prophet doesn't know that, and we're about to see a Forged Our Victorious screen, and all of Eden's channel points will be gone.
Interesting. So this kite rider is kind of cool because you can basically guarantee it's going to replace the kite rider, which is currently going to die next to Inventor. So you kill that kite rider because there's no more barricades, so you can't fill up that spot.
Yeah,
I guess you could do it with a Mad Cog, but you only have one magic.
Yeah. It's the checkmate. I feel like all these moves Thrak has been advancing, and I would still be a little bit scared advancing against the Forged that they're going to pull something. But with one magic and the Inventor in a hole, surely Thrak is safe here, right?
Yeah, with the kite rider there especially. And one magic, yeah. One magic's the big one.
Ally says his hot take is the only way Inventor wins is if he can barricade himself completely. Forbidden move. No, I'm kind of with you on that. Like the Inventor at this point just needs to be totally walled off and somehow just like win through Helma. But like you're not Inventor's not even ahead on Econ. There's another recharge. It's another overcharge. Like don't not seeing much of a path here. Hate to say it. Problem is both barricades are down. 2 out of 3 gates are down. Yeah.
I like this play. Get rid of Ember Cog. Make sure the Inventor is just blocked in.
Yeah. Maybe with a Mag Cog. Like next turn, this Ember Cog. No, it's gonna be dead. Oh no, it's terrible. All right, Thrak totally whiffs on this Ember Cog, so we can't discharge it. Ember Cog is gonna move to the side, kill this, and we're gonna Mag Cog it into the spot, so the next Kite Rider can't. Okay, Thrak did not totally miss. That's unfortunate. Maybe Prophet's discarded the discharges. Does Panopticon ask, does Lightning Strike trigger off of structures? No, it does not. which is very important. Chain lightning only damages units in the circuit of adjacent units, so that's why we've seen Vexer do a lot of plays. Like earlier on, we had like 2 barricades here and the inventor in the middle, because as you all know, electricity cannot be conducted through barricades or gates. Makes a lot of sense. No discharge?
I'm back, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to head up for a second.
Good. Ember Cog lives. That is huge. I wonder if we have a plan to deal with this. Yeah, I wonder where the discharge is at.
Bottom 5.
Doesn't have the juice. That is so right.
No juice.
Is Vexer gonna pull this one out?
Uh,
If he does, we can hold it over allies forever.
oh, no, Sentry Cog.
Sentry Cog is nice, but I'm seeing...
It's most
Okay,
likely
that
over
Sentry
next
Cog is
turn.
nice. Yeah, you think so? Well, I mean, the Sentry Cog is going to stop any circuit nonsense, right?
Just with Volt Swappers.
Just Volt Swappers. You think we could get in there? I mean, how many Kite Riders have we seen, though? I guess one got
Oh,
put
you
back.
start the gate
summoned.
over there. Yeah.
You put the Kite
Yeah.
Rider where the Sentry Cog, next to the Sentry Cog, and then you let the Volt Swappers, yeah. It's most likely over next turn if he has recharge and overcharge.
What were you saying? So Kite Rider goes next to Inventor, but then how do we
No,
fill
Kite Rider
the
goes next to
spots?
Sentry Cog.
So that it kind of tanks
I
the Sentry
see.
Cog
So
hit.
it tanks that,
Exactly.
and then we do the 2. Yeah. Then we do the Volt Swappers, and then we bam, and then we're sad. Got anything in the build phase, Vexer? Nestle says, honestly, the Ember Cog is just one more unit to conduct circuit. Yeah. What can you do? It does suck too if that Ember Cog brings the Kite Rider to 1. It's just going to get recharged. I wonder what the timers are here. Yeah, so our game has been going for 70 minutes of the 90 possible minutes. So
Yeah.
best case
So they're
scenario,
at 10.
both players have 10. Worst case scenario, one player has like 4 and the other player has 16. Seems like they have been roughly kind of splitting the time. Maybe Prophet's been spending a bit more time thinking. I don't really know. It seems like it's been kind of split.
Well, we'll know if there's an abrupt ending.
Oh, that was Eden pointed out. So, okay, so that sentry, so the sentry that is beneath the workshop, if we do that one there, okay, ignoring where the sentry is right now, if the sentry was beneath the workshop, does that stop any chain opportunities? Because I don't see how you get a Kite Rider to both adjacent spots of the sentry cog.
Yeah, I think you're right. It would stop for the next turn. Great point. Great
But
observation.
maybe Vexer isn't looking to do that because it's not the best spot for the sentry cog otherwise. I don't know. IDK, I just work here. And I guess the shot on Thrak is a little bit nice. Nope. Vexer's listening to Eden. Eden is cheating on behalf of the contestants yet again.
The funny thing is, what if you don't attack the Kite Rider here and just let it die to Sentry Cog or have to move out of the way? Like,
yeah, you don't need to.
That's a good play. I mean, all it effectively does is tanks a move. I wonder if Vexer's gonna see that. I feel like he probably will.
Yeah, it does
That
tank
does
a
seem
move,
like
which is a
that's-
great point.
That does seem like probably the move. If Vexer pulls out this game, we get to hold it over allies forever, and that will be really great. I spent a ton of so I just like incorrectly answered Panopticon's question entirely. Sorry. I thought you meant chain lightning. Very sorry. Okay, so you were talking about Lightning Strike, which is the Kite Rider's ability, and that, yes, if you attack a structure, it will trigger adjacent units, but it won't damage structures. It's kind of confusing. Okay, they did kill the Kite Rider.
I wonder if it was a 3-day game, if they would have, because I think that's a play you have to actually, yeah. I think it's the correct play not to kill it, actually, like was pointed out, because like you said, it tanks a move, which is super important actually for making circuits.
Yeah, I mean, I sure as hell wouldn't have thought of that.
The good thing is also the Kite Rider on top is 1 health, so it can't go near the Sentry Cog either. This is actually a pretty closer game than I thought it would be at this point.
Yeah, Prophet still got about twice as much on Econ, so and more summoner health. So
Yeah,
so,
but behind on board,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, no, give me some faith, Cherez. What's the out here? How do we win?
If your last few cards are just vaults, like if you have 5 cards but they're all vault swappers, it doesn't really mean much. It's like a bunch of 1/1s, especially if your recharge is gone. Like I think there's what's the other deck like that? There's a few decks where you see they have 5 cards left and it feels so intimidating, and then you realize like what the cards can be, and you're like, wait a second, it's basically a bunch of nothing.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Recharge. I guess he's going to try to recharge the Kite Rider. Move the Kite Rider into circuit.
Yeah, force
so this
it.
Is the last recharge.
This last recharge is kind of, because of the Sentry Cog positioning, Prophet can't go in there. So we're using this last recharge just to like kill an Ember Cog. It's kind of what we're looking for.
So this is 100% get. Like I don't see him not using a a discharge on this Ember Cog. We'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Huh.
And those timers must be tight. I'm so sad we can't see them, but these players must be sweating right now. Like, this game will be over in 15 minutes, 100% of the time. Okay, so Allies is thinking Inventor is in a corner and Prophet is just gonna sit back and let it happen.
Yeah, just let him destroy himself.
Sentry Cog can't move. What's he got left? Oh.
Haha, spend a discharge on that. Guess if you probably won't.
Yeah, I probably won't.
His Ember Cog can't even move, it's stuck.
Yeah. I mean, like, a Magcon could still do some damage here on Thrak. There's ways to avoid the inactivity if we really try.
There's still 1 modular, which means that I don't know. That doesn't mean much, but there is still one.
It means something. If they have grounded, they're forcing inactivity. I mean, still a Magcog could still... You could still summon, place it here, and it could still attack the gate. I mean, it's not great. For gore on the forge for gore. Okay. Oh goodness, I'm so glad I'm not playing this game right now. I'm getting secondhand stress, wondering at what those clocks are at.
Let me inspect elements, see what cards. Oh, Sentry Cog. So that's a smart position, because if you Sentry Cog there, it's a little bit hard for Thrak to deal with. Actually, is it? No, you can just discharge.
I mean,
the denial with the Ember Cog. Although I don't know what Prophet really needs magic for anymore. Maybe a champion? I don't know.
yeah, probably got another champion somewhere in there. Surely, right? This is so stressful. Just going right into the attack phase, huh? So yeah, Vexer's just gonna go down, but there's just no way. 4 cards and 1 magic. Surely, Thrak can deal with that. Like, even if the inventor's out of the picture, there's no econ world, right? It's gotta be over.
This is a pretty interesting matchup, though, with the interaction between sentry cogs and stuff, as well as the barricades and breaking up circuit.
Yep.
No, it's cool. Yeah.
So I
Is
think
this how you're?
Prophet's not good on time.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
You think
Oh.
Profit's low on time, but because the turns are instant.
yeah.
Yeah. Is this how your game against Vexer, your Stormground versus Forge game against Vexer went as well? Like, did Vexer also push up into the midfield in your game, or is this any different?
It's very similar. I think Vexer had slightly better position in my game. He was able to have a sentry cog in front of my 10 health gate, so he had something to always hit, so I can just inactivity damage him.
Oh, Prophet's gonna time out. It's gonna happen. Cheres has called it from the beginning.
Silly sentry cog clicks. They this is
They
too
add
much for
up.
clicks.
Yeah, because you always have to click Sentry Cog, even if there's nothing in the line of fire.
Yep.
That click economy is great. The Forge, we need on Colonel S's little statistics, we need a click rating for every faction.
Need higher
Sentry Cog
APMs.
lives.
Actually, I need high APM. It's gonna be like StarCraft. You have to. Does he use the? Oh. Okay. Nope.
Yeah, that was about to discharge the Sentry Cog. Wait, are we yet to see a discharge? I guess we are.
Yeah, we haven't seen. It is kind of cool to also see unoptimal turns, which happen like this late into a game. 8. So 10 more minutes.
Yep.
At most.
We're either gonna see a flurry of Profit turns very fast, or Vexer is just gonna concede at any one of these.
Just because of the time limit, I think if Prophet did have discharge, I think it's a mistake not killing the sentry cog, to be honest with discharge.
He's gonna have to click all those times.
Exactly. And also just like he only has 3 cards left. Just get rid of them. Makes your life easier. Because then he just inactivity damages himself eventually.
Yeah, Vexer would need to play a card right now.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I feel like in Prophet's shoes, you're just like, I've so many more cards than you. Surely I'll be fine. Though I've played quite a few games against Vexer where I'm going into the end game being like, all right, I have so many more cards than you. Surely there's no way you outgame me. And then I play a couple quick turns, like a couple bad plays here, bad plays there, and all of a sudden I'm losing on econ somehow. Like, even if your plays aren't up to snuff, even in the end game when you have a big lead, you can still sometimes get screwed out of that. So live games are fun.
Yep.
Yeah, Vexer taking his time to think here. I think you are right, Cher. So this is.
He's got more time.
Yeah, he's got a lot more time. Ooh, the unit is being played. It's a wild twist that we never expected.
Modular.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to kill or make
Oh,
Isaac
it's gonna
very
swap with the gate.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we can get
To
Ezek
save
to
the health on
one.
the Ember cog.
Yeah, if Ezek goes to one, I mean, hey, that's a pretty huge swing. I'm seeing a world where I'm seeing the world where there's the upset of the lifetime. No way you put the modular on the gate. Yeah, get out of here with that.
There is an argument because, like like we said, there's no, there's still 2 discharges potentially in Prophet's deck.
That's true, but like, but Vexer has 1 card left. Like,
Yeah, true.
what is that modular on the gate gonna do for you?
Oh, that was big. 4 and 4.
That was it. That was it. It wasn't even watching. Oh my goodness. So now Ezek can't attack the sentry cog. This is wild. I mean, it's still Prophet still has the econ advantage. Make no mistake. But
I mean, yeah.
with timeout being a factor and needing to go quickly, yeah, like, I don't know. A few misplays here.
Prophet, don't think this much. You don't have the time.
The game is
Yeah, I was gonna point
over in
this.
6 minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna point out that Thrak can now, like, you're not really in danger with 1 card left. In the situation with Thrak, you can go up easy. Oh,
Circuit.
All right.
Oh, he's
Found
gonna
the quick
overcharge here?
circuit.
Does he have one left?
where are the discharges? I need to ask Prophet where they are. Are they just the bottom of the cards of his deck?
Maybe. Is there a chance they were discarded? I mean, because Vexer wasn't playing a ton of Ember Cogs and Blast Forge Cogs early, so maybe they were clogging up Thrak's hand early on.
Could be.
Eden
Oh,
yawns.
wow.
Oh,
I mean-
this is the big one. Does Thrak kill? If Thrak whiffs. Oh, okay.
Okay.
There you go. We're in there. We're in there.
Discharge one time?
Let's see.
No, not again.
No discharge.
So, okay.
So what's
Prophet
what's
is
that last
discarded
card?
8. Vexer is discarded 7 this game.
What is...
I have no idea.
5 more minutes, guys. This is going down to the wire.
Oh, I just remembered that was your cat, Eden. So, or wait, or did you just do the? You made that image, and it was someone else's cat. I forget whose cat that is.
All right, I'm telling you how this game ends. Last card for the inventor is Sentry Cog. Prophet scrambles to try to hit. Preemptive fire, loses on the spot. Game over. GG's.
Last card is wait, but how is Prophet could just
because he's saying he's gonna
inactivity
run
at
out of
that point.
time.
Oh, I see. I mean, at a certain point, you could just snap, hit, and turn, though. Like,
That's
oh
he
my
misses.
goodness.
He misses.
Did that Voltswapper attack that workshop last turn and miss?
It missed. It got the range
That's
special.
so funny.
hit.
So that's 2 misses in a row. You gotta go. Okay, there are 3. I guess we did start like a couple minutes late, so it's probably like 5. I don't know. No, there's no way that Prophet has more than like 90 seconds on his clock right now. Goes down. Does Prophet know the fast forward tech?
Oh, needs to do another attack roll. This is all important, guys.
Luring Thrak into his trap. I wonder if you're right. I wonder if that's another sentry. That'd be absolutely wild.
How many Madcog? Oh,
Nope. It's
nope,
over.
no Madcog or Sentry. So maybe it's
Right
like
there.
maybe it's a champion he can't play or something.
Oh no, like Prophet's probably down to like 20 seconds. He's just trying to BM him. Just haha, you could kill me. But nah.
Ah, just end it. That is funny because, you know, if Vexer is trying to time out Prophet, you just run in the corner there. Make Thrak do 3 more turns. That should be it. If the dice do, what one will expect?
I've seen this. Oh no. GG's.
Wow. Just wow.
It was Sprocket. It shows us now. It was a champion.
It was Sprocket. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me invite these 2 losers into this call. I need to know how close the numbers were on those clocks. Let me see. Hello.
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 Hey.
Hey, and Vexer, we cannot hear you. Oh, Vexer, we can't hear you.
Okay,
Awesome.
now I can hear you.
No, we can hear you, Vexer. We can. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay,
that
cool.
was
Hey,
insane.
cool.
That was wild. I just need to ask, what were the times on your clocks at the end there for both of you?
So I had 50 seconds.
You
4 minutes.
really? So you had 4 minutes and 50 seconds. We thought it was the other way around, since Prophet, you were taking such quick turns. We thought you were low on time.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, toward the end, I kind of knew what I was gonna do, but I definitely felt the pressure on time. But yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, funny. On my side, it was showing that you had like 9 minutes. So was I showing you on your end as like 1 minute?
Oh, really?
I don't know. Like, how much time did it show on your end? That I
you were somewhere. I think the last turn you were about 1 or 2 minutes left.
Okay.
So I was like, man, I really hope this doesn't go to a timeout. This is a crazy game. I kind of want to see who dies first, but
Yeah, so I ran out of fuel at the end, which is what happens in this matchup if you don't like manage to do something quick. That's why I played it more aggressively. My last card was the champion Sprocket. That was the
okay.
last.
Yeah. I was struggling against your sentry cogs. They were placed pretty well, and I was like, man, I don't know how to really get around that because all my units or all my volt swappers would just melt. But I think the downside that I started to notice is that if you place a sentry cog, that you can't move it. It's really hard to move that cog. So I think once you kind of sheltered to like one side of the board, I just went on the other side. I was like, I'm not dealing with this anymore.
Yeah, that was a good move there. Like those sentry cogs are more useful when you get them at the beginning of the game, and then you're able to position them around the center, which is the area that I was trying to fight at the beginning. But then it gets to the point in which, unless you manage to get Thrak into a really low amount of health, in which maybe you manage to get like the final kill, you just have to hide, right? Like once you're in 3-4 life, it's really easy for them to deal the last damage. So yeah, this is how this matchup usually goes. Hopefully it was entertaining. I felt like I tried to bring a good battle there at the beginning. I was feeling like I was getting somewhere, but then I was not able to really get some hits on Thrak. You did a good job on protecting him. So it was tough at the end with so much life on Thrak. And on the econ side, you always run out of juice faster than them, much faster than them. That's why I didn't even try to play it more conservatively, because there's no way of winning the econ on this one. Like, even though you didn't play any discharge, traditionally you're going to be losing 2 of your big units automatically to that. And the Macog, it's garbage in this one. Like, you usually discard all of them. So you rely on the other ones to try to be wiping their units. But if they're connecting circuits, you always end up losing the econ.
Yeah. And to comment on that, I think earlier on in the game, somewhere when you took the middle of the board, you were doing such a great job at making sure that there were structures weaved into my circuit. Like the barricades were such a pain to deal with. I just could not connect to save my life. So that was really hard to get around. I got fortunate. I think you whiffed on a kite rider one time with like 3 swords. And that allowed me to teleport all of my like vault swappers to the entire other side of the board. I was like, oh, that's great. I felt like this game had an unusual amount of whiffs. I don't know. It's like on both sides. I felt like, okay, well, that was not expected at all. But yeah, no, this was I think I was talking to just actually everyone on this stream, but it feels favored towards ST if the Forged player doesn't understand how to weave in the structures. But I feel like the Forged tier doesn't really, or they're not really at a severe uphill battle just because sentry cogs and structures are like pretty much the bane of Thrax's existence. If I can't connect a circuit to you, it becomes really, really hard to do anything. So I guess it really just depends on how the early game goes. But I was fortunate enough to kind of be able to keep Thrax somewhat safe. Because if I was at like maybe 4 or 5 health, I'd probably not be as risky with him. But you know.
Exactly. And getting Thrak to that around like 4 health was what I was trying to do, because that doesn't allow you to be just bringing him forward, because then the inventor can just kill you back, like just bringing some units and doing some tricks there. It opens the window for that. But the one of the key things, and it's really funny on those matchups, because traditionally you discard all the 5 gates, or at least like most of them with the Forge. But in this matchup, you really want to use all of them. But all of them were at the bottom. Like you didn't saw them at first, because it's not that I was dropping them. But at least the barricades allow me to do the strategy that I was thinking about, like of using those to make it hard for the circuit, but being in the center and still have the inventor be a threat, but be relatively protected. But if you get like barricades and gates, I was able to do that a little bit more when I played against Charez. It was the same matchup. And I kind of like try to build that middle fort with also a few gates. But you know, even with those, it's hard to, unless you really go after Thrakab and be really aggressive. Even if you protect the inventor in the middle with gates, you end up losing the econ game there, because like at the end you'll have less resources, and then the inventor is going to be trapped, and then they'll just be able to play the range game against you. So that's why I think on this one it's vital to just go after him, try to get those early hits during that timing, which you can still absorb like all of those circuits. Still, you want to try to make sure you don't take any free hits, like not get any like attack from a witch or something like that, because just the circuit damage is going to take you to 5, right? Like if you're going after them. So taking any free hits make it almost impossible. But yeah, even like that, it's a really tough one. Not impossible for sure, but yeah, I would say at least like 70-30 or something like that would be my guess.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I was looking at there was a particular turn. I think it was like you were around. It was like maybe turn 15. You're around 4 health, and I can tell you're very careful trying to like avoid the circuit damage. And then I saw the kite rider to just get behind you move, and I was thinking about it. I was like, okay. I always like to think about when I make the turn, because I know that the inventor is very prone to getting just clogged by his own mess. If there was a way you can get out of me just trapping you from behind, and I think the only way for you to capture that position behind you is with either a modular upgrade or a barricade. So I was looking out for the modular one, thinking maybe you had it, maybe you drew it towards the end, because I didn't really see it as early on. But that's sort of where I started just sneaking kite riders in and tucking them in behind the inventor. I noticed that when I did that, you placed a sentry cog, like what is that? Your A B C D E E4 or E3, I think. And then you were debating for a good minute if you should put it right there, or I think like closer to the other side of the board. And I was hoping you would put it there because if you did that, then I was just gonna just stay completely away from you. And I don't know how the inventor would just get back to the other side of the board. So it's like a little bit of metagaming here, I guess, just thinking about kind of what the inventor struggles with. But I would say that if you're not prepared, the forged actually does a crazy amount of damage, right? They like if you're able to land like 2 procs on your ability, that's probably on average how much damage circuit and chain lightning can land, 2 to 3. And the problem with circuit is that you damage your own unit. So like, I mean, I don't know what the net positive on that is, but it feels like these 2 summoners are basically running at each other, trying to just blow up as much formation as they can. And I think I have a little bit more of a reliable way of doing it. But I worry sometimes about like trading units because storm goblins don't really feel like they have a lot of like super powerful units. I have kite riders that just hurt themselves, and it just makes me mad. So yeah, it's this was definitely an interesting matchup. I thought honestly that this was going to be impossible for me just because I played a public game with this one time, and my opponent was abusing the heck out of sentry cogs, and I just did not know how to respond to that.
But yeah, I agree with that analysis. And that turn, that was an interesting turn, the one you mentioned. I mean, I was getting low on health, wasn't that concerned because it was hard for you to connect circuit at that point. But I thought about the C3 to be able to attack Thrak. But then I thought like, I'm going to get 1 attack, like let's say like 2 damage, that's the average. But then that position, after you move Thrak from that one, I'm not able to hit anything out of it. So that's why I didn't end up going with that one, because I felt like you would still be able to just ignore that sentry cog. And I wanted to be able to get rid of that like I wasn't going to kill that kite rider unless I hit the 3/3 on the Ember cog. Because that way the other kite rider wouldn't be able to get behind me and keep doing that stuff. But to do that, I needed to put the sentry cog there to send you to 1, so that then you had to either move it or just lose it. Right? So that was kind of the dilemma that I was thinking about on that one. But I knew at that point that I was in trouble because I was running out of juice. Like my hand there, I only had 1 Ember cog and 1 sentry cog. Those were my only remaining units. And the champ, the gate that I still had in hand at the end at the modular. So at that point, I was really just hoping that you would just like go super aggro, trying to come after me, connect circuits, something like that would allow me to maybe find a spot. But yeah, like once you avoided me on the right side for me and just stayed on the other side, it kind of like just sealed the deal for me because you were too far ahead on the econ game for me to be able to establish a threat on track.
Yeah. I ran away from you, man. I was like, nope, I'm not going anywhere close to you. But yeah, I had a couple of good recharge turns. I felt crazy good about. Like I think I brought out like 4 or 5 volt swappers, and I was like, man, that's a lot of value right there. Because even if you don't need them, you can just build them into magic. And so. And I think I even killed my own kite rider with my chain lightning one turn. I forgot which one it was, but I was like, I almost forget that kite rider and the witches also get recurred by recharge. Like I don't really think about it like that, but yeah, that felt pretty great. So
yeah. Well, fellas, so are you not entertained? Was that
we
good?
were on the edge of our seat.
That was good.
That
We
entire
had
game.
Yeah, we had one question though, like kind of early on, Prophet moved up a witch without circuiting it and just like shot the adventure from the side.
Oh, yeah.
We were like, what's he doing here? We're just like,
yeah.
Was
So
that like was that a bait to get him to move out a little more, or?
Yeah, I think that's like what, turn 8. It was like very early on, and the thought process was like, man, I got an extra move and an extra attack. I think it was like turn 5 or turn 6?
5, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, look, it really is just a race, right? Like the first person to get so critically damaged they can't go in anymore is pretty much at a huge disadvantage because both of these summoners require you to be within proximity of your units to maximize value and whatnot, right? And so I was like, okay, I'll take any damage I can get. And I didn't have a way to circuit the witch because my Volt Swappers would have gotten shot down by the sentry before I could. Yeah. And that was kind of what I was struggling with in the midfield was that sentry that he placed next to the barricade effectively protected him from any Volt Swappers, and just made it a huge pain to deal with. And so I thought, why not just attack him for 1 damage? But that just looked kind of silly after I whiffed. I didn't think. I mean, I expected the witch would die, but I kind of wanted to encourage him to step a little bit beyond that barricade. My thought was that he would probably drop down units somewhere like adjacent or in the rear of the witch. And I want him to drop units because I need to connect to him, so I might as well use his units. Storm Goblins don't really feel too expensive of a deck, especially because of all of their economic tools with like recharge and just being able to provide value from Thrak. And so I'm okay throwing 1 or 2 magic to kind of shift the board a little bit and maybe do 1 damage. But yeah, I didn't really have a great reason. It probably wasn't the best move thinking about it, but like I don't know. I feel wasteful not using all of my moves and attacks. So I was like, okay, why not?
So it actually had an interesting effect because maybe the unintended consequence of positioning that witch there was that I couldn't just make the move forward, like to the right and forward to put the inventor in front of the strider, because then the witch would be on my back, right? Like I wouldn't want to leave a witch behind me that then is going to tag me for 3 or 4. So that's why I had to play it more conservatively and leave the inventor right there. Yeah, because I had the possibility, if you didn't put the witch there, of just sending the inventor there and then just building to both sides of the strider. I had a Mac cog, I had the Blast 4 cogs. So then I could kill the strider and then also attack Thrak. I had the workshop too. It opened like more possibilities of what I could do without that witch there. But the fact that it stayed there, I couldn't really guarantee like killing both and leaving the inventor like exposed in that position. Like it was too risky. So at least it helped out with that. Like the game could have played a slightly different if I was able to just keep moving forward that way.
Yeah. I was hoping you would go for the witch because that would be devastating if you were able to build to the flanks of the strider because that's like 4 damage. You'll likely blast a strider to pieces, damaging me. Then it's going to be a rough time. So I guess the strategy did kind of work. I wanted to throw a dice at you, and then I needed you to move left, or I guess my left 1 space, but not move up. And so, yeah, suboptimal play becomes optimal.
Yeah, I guess. Well, that's really, I wouldn't say suboptimal because intuitively, you know that one of the things you want to do against the Forge is slow down the inventor. Many times you just send like units to die in front of him, like cheap units, ideally, right? You just send them. You know they're gonna die, but the thing is, you want to slow them down because one of the ways in which they get you is just rushing you and suddenly blocking all your gate spots or things like that, which is something that I was hoping to see if I get any opening for that. As the Storm Goblins, they struggle when they don't have like enough summoning spots or position in a way in which you can do the Bolt Swapper jumps.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like it achieved that objective, right? Like making me, instead of moving 2 spaces, I could only move 1. So it wasn't really, I would say, like a horrible play. Maybe it was one of those in which you're sacrificing economic value for like board state, for the board positioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that that game, I feel like I had not fully realized how insane this matchup was, right? Like I did not realize how different everything needed to play. I guess because of the sentry cogs, Cheris kind of pointed out. Like I sort of expected that the storm goblins, they would just be really tough for the inventor to do anything because the storm goblins just shock anything. But then it's like, well, if you play really really well with these structures, you can avoid circuit damage and also use sentry cogs to snipe volt swappers, which seemed like you didn't have a ton of sentry. You only had like one or two until the late game, Vexer. But it sounds like overall you guys had very similar opinions of how this matchup was going to go down. Is that right? Like you were both expecting that the inventor was going to come forward and it was going to be a race to see who could do critical damage to the enemy summoner first, and then that person would be at a great disadvantage. Is that right? Is that what you expected, or did you think there was ever a universe where maybe the inventor tries to hang back more or something? Like, is this dynamic in this part of the field exactly what both of you were thinking of coming into this?
Yeah, it was for me, especially because I had already played this with Cheris. So in that one, I still went forward, but still was more conservative and noticed that doesn't really play out well. So I knew I had to be even more aggressive to try to take Thrak out before the economic advantage would just seal the game, or enough circuit damage just forces you to hide and lose.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the same thought. There's no shot in any world the inventor just hangs back. Like that's just not what he does. It's does Sneaks ever just hang back? I don't think so. He runs to the middle and just drops everything, and you just have to deal with it. And so, like, I never worried that the inventor would not advance. Like, would he leave his side of the board? I'm not quite sure, but you'll see that basically on my like first or second or third hand, I basically had two gates, which was actually super, super critical to kind of pressuring that offense. I actually was able to even stagger them in a way that like they each connect. So having that 3-gate setup really enabled me to kind of reposition my circuits as I needed it. He answered it pretty well, kind of threw an Ember Cog in front of my fourth row gate, and then kind of forced the fight on a certain side. And honestly, kind of throwing forward gates against the inventors is a little suicidal. They do just so much damage, and you can't really take back those spots without just getting blown to bits. So, but yeah, no, I knew we would both run at each other, and so the game then becomes like who can out damage the summoner first. And it was like a war of attrition. He had some really solid turns where I actually just couldn't reach him. But then I think once I started being able to get a kite rider behind him, the structure dynamic changed, and it just kind of got harder for the inventor to keep dropping structures without like clogging up the board. Which I knew eventually that's how it's gonna gravitate towards, where one of us is just gonna turtle super hard. And then that it just then becomes, should I continue pursuing it or should I just go for econ? And I think towards the end I just went for econ because
Yeah.
it was the less riskier side to victory.
Yeah. Yeah, let's look at that turn real quick. That was, I think, is turn 9 is where you flew the kite rider over the inventor. I'm curious if you guys had any strategic thoughts about like how the game changed from that turn, or effects, or if you didn't expect that kite rider, because we certainly forgot about it. But like up to that point, I had like we had felt like the Forge were doing a great job. Like the inventor was favored. Inventor hasn't been taking much damage, really been avoiding it, has managed to get all the way on that side. And then that single kite rider seemed to like completely suddenly, now the inventor is trapped and everything seems to be looking bad for the Forge. Is that how you guys felt as well, or like how are you feeling before and after this turn?
So in that turn, I knew I needed to keep moving forward. At that point, I felt like, hey, I have a chance maybe of clogging his summoning spots to be able to trap him. So I knew there was no going back. Like I didn't really mind if I got trapped by a kite rider because those don't really hit you that hard. And I had enough life still. Like I could still take a few shots before having to worry about being behind gates. And I knew my gates had to suddenly start popping up. Like I still had the 3 gates that I hadn't like seen them by that point. So yeah, I really was just hoping on like just keep moving forward and finding like the spots to just block summoning spots or just have Thrak and be able to get at him with some of the structures.
And real quick there, real quick to Vexer, I'm just curious. So then when the Kite Rider flew over, were you like, oh crap, this is all going bad all of a sudden, or was that something you expected?
Yeah, it was something that I was aware that could happen there. But like to be able to, at that point, I was just hoping for that gate play. I like destroying that gate on the right so that he only has like the big gate, and the other one I was still using it a little bit to prevent the circuits, but eventually I wanted to get rid of that gate. So yeah, that's I was aware there was a possibility, but I felt like I just had to keep moving forward. At that point, Sai, I had managed to kind of make him retreat a little bit, right? Like at that point, all his gate positioning, that was one of the biggest pains, like having him be able to get those gates spread out super early. So I felt like, hey, if I have a way of getting back into this game is if I am able to get rid of his gates, and then he just needs to start bringing units from the back. It makes it harder to make like big circuits with that or big plays, things like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Prophet, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be like a this is checkmate kind of thing, but what I wanted to do was kind of prevent him from retreating. I knew that like he's probably fine just there. There's no reason he needs to go back because the mentor doesn't really rely on gates. But my thoughts were that if I can keep that position occupied, out and he doesn't have a barricade, right? So like outside of a mag cog, maybe jumping to that position, my goal was to just chip at him, right? So like I need him to be somewhere in the 4 to 5 health range because that's probably the best chance for Thrak to kind of surprise and kill a summoner. If I had like overcharged and just a way to hit him with a Volt Swapper and maybe another unit. So it every point, every damage matters. It's almost just like scoring for Thrak. And so my thoughts were that I would just continue to hit the summoner, and if I can continue to hold that rear position, I'm hoping it kind of forces him into my side of the field. But I didn't really have many great options here. Again, he's super fortified, and so it's just I have to get behind him and just to kind of force him to move. If he stays there, it's fine, I think, because Kite Rider, while he can damage himself, will also probably damage the nearby units. But what actually ends up happening is I think this is the turn. Yeah, this is the turn he actually just whiffed on the Kite Rider. It was like 3 swords to 2 life. And then like the start of turn 11, this actually enabled me to kind of do the recharge Volt Swapper, and then I just volted across the board because he kind of blocked my left side of the field with his Mag Cog and clogged that gate summoning. So I didn't really have a great way to reach his lower health units. But with that Kite Rider living, that actually gave me the opportunity to basically zap not only the Inventor, but the Cog, the Blast Forge, and then the other Mag Cog. So that ended up working a little better than I thought. But if that Kite Rider hadn't lived, it would have been a more tricky turn for sure. But I think just having a unit there and pressuring your opponent to kind of do something about it, whether it's move or stay there, was my intention. But yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it makes
originally the
sense.
Mag Cog was hoping to block the back spot after getting the kill with the Inventor. But after getting the whiff there, I just had like, well, I'm going to just put it up there so that it's not easy to get him with a circuit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, so we just have a minute or two left here. And it looks like Jexic had to leave already as well. Do you guys have Cheras? Did you have any questions you want to ask or anything else You guys want to talk about before we end?
Yeah, I guess for one question for both of you guys. So, Prophet, it worked out well, but I was surprised you didn't use any of your discharges. Did you discard them, or
Oh
did you just
yeah.
have them at the bottom of your deck, or?
I had them. I drew them early, and so I did the math. Right, discharge it's basically 2 magic. Well, I mean, yeah, 2 magic for an auto kill, because it costs 1 and you have the discard. Right, so if burn is worth 1 magic for 2, and that's okay, then at 2 magic the value is 4 health. Right, like that's what to me I think is worth it. And annoyingly, I think sometimes there would be a unit at 3 health, and I'm like, is it really worth it? The time I had to use it, I could have killed like his 3 health cog that was sitting in front of my 4th row gate. But if I did that, the inventor could walk over and just drop another thing and just completely screw me. So I decided to just let that unit stay alive. I generally am not a huge fan of using discharge unless there's an equipped or upgraded unit, or that unit is a 2 cost that has like 4 health, maybe 3. I almost would never like to use it for 2. And I feel like the Storm Goblins has so many ways to deal 1 to 2 damage every turn that, like, to use a 2 cost card like discharge, I'd rather build it. I'd rather get a champion out. I felt like that, I never really struggle killing units with my damage, so I felt like, I don't know, I didn't really want to play discharge at the time. But I know people have different views. I'm not a huge discharge person. I'll maybe use 1 at most, but
That makes sense. That's a cool way of looking at it. No, thank you for the insight. And then for Vexer, I know, and when I played against you, you played some early gates. Was it in this game that you just didn't draw the gates, or was it just a different strategy of not trying to block yourself?
It was just that I didn't draw them. Like, the first one was halfway through the deck, and the last 2 were in the bottom, like 8 cards or something like that. So yeah, I was hoping to get them. Like, every time I discarded, I was hoping to at least get 1, and they wouldn't come. But well, the barricades at least allow you to start doing that similar strategy, but it would have definitely been useful to get them when I was in the center of the board.
Cool. Yeah, because I think Storm Goblins really struggle against gates in general because their commons don't do that much damage outside of witches. Yep. Cool. Thank you guys.
All right. Allies is twisting my arm in the chat here. He really wants me to ask, what, in your opinion, is the worst matchup for Storm Goblins? Just give me like a 1-sentence answer. We don't need to get into it.
The worst matchup for Storm Goblins? Geez, I don't know.
Gut instinct.
I'll be honest, I haven't even played all the matchups. I honestly would have said maybe the Forge. I got Vexer. I played Vexer actually earlier today, and he beat me with the Shadow Elves in the Tournament of Champions. So now I think it's Shadow Elves. But I don't know. I feel like it's very polarizing. They probably struggle with a lot of the top tier decks, Cloak, Shadow Elves, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say Shadow Elves because Vexer beat me with it. That's my answer.
So, I would say I also haven't played all of them, but one of the ones that I think has the best chances is Eternal Council, because it has all its units are good by themselves. Like, they don't really need depend on the summoner or anything to be efficient at what they do. So, and then once Eldia is coming in, like, she can remove the blockers from Thrak and just wipe him out kind of easily. Really, any faction that has those characteristics in which the units are good by themselves without needing the summoner, and the summoner doesn't need to be in the center of the field, are the ones that give them the most trouble. So Shadow Elves is one example. Like, Selundar can just be hiding, and the units are really efficient and can get the job done. Factions like that are the ones that I've noticed are the ones that give Storm Goblins the hardest time.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Agreed.
Well, awesome. Anything else you guys want to chat about before we wrap up here?
Yep, that'll be everything. Thank you guys for putting this together. I'm glad. Hopefully, everyone had a good time. Even though I got pummeled by the storm goblins. That was fun. I think it went better than I thought it was gonna go, so I feel I feel good about that.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing this and streaming it. I still have more games against Vexer, so maybe we'll see.
Yes. Yeah, well, thanks so much for letting us stream your game. This was super exciting, down to like down as almost as far as you possibly could have gone to the clock without anyone actually timing out. So you had us on the edge of our seats there. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. That was a blast.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye. And thanks everyone for watching. That was a ton of fun. Ian's been helping coordinate the live league streams. Want to keep doing more of these. It's just a great way to just show off a match, show off some people, members of the community. So yeah, thanks Eden for getting me in order and helping coordinate this match and making the beautiful poster. Thanks everyone for coming. Hopefully we'll try to do a few more of these. Not a bajillion, but get another one next week maybe, or the week after. We shall see. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned. Keep watching the live league. It's another 2.5 weeks left in this season, and then there's gonna be a season 2. So you can sign up, play 4 live games. Pretty chill, pretty fun. Only need to have 1 faction, 2 a day. Yeah, Eden, for sure. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Been a ton of fun. Catch you later. Bye.